All right, good morning. Here we are again, everyone, for lesson number 44 of A Course in Miracles. God is the light in which I see. And I just have a couple things I want to say before I get into this. Number one, I was having a really hard time yesterday remembering the lesson, so I forgave myself. I didn't beat myself up, and I would just go grab the book and just say, oh, what does it say? Or I would pull up the video and look at the description. So when that happens, don't give up. Keep going. And sometimes the titles are a little long and you may have to revisit a few times, but it's all good. The second thing I wanted to say is in America today is Super Bowl Sunday, and if there's anything else you could do, you may want to do it. It's a pretty good chance that there's going to be a fair amount of satanic rituals done that are obviously not totally on the surface, but those of us who are tuned in feel the energies of that, and it's just not a good idea to let that into your consciousness. So if you do feel like you want to watch the game, go for it, but maybe skip the halftime show. Save your consciousness that challenge of resisting all that satanic garbage. Okie dokie, here we go. Lesson number 44 of A Course in Miracles. God is the light in which I see. Today we are continuing the idea for yesterday, adding another dimension to it. You cannot see in darkness, and you cannot make light. You can make darkness and then think you see light in it, but light reflects life, and is therefore an aspect of creation. Creation and darkness cannot coexist, but light and life must go together, being but different aspects of creation. In order to see, you must recognize that light is within, not without. You do not see outside yourself, nor is the equipment for seeing outside you. There's that technology language again. An essential part of this equipment is the light that makes seeing possible. It is with you always, making vision possible in every circumstance. Today, we are going to attempt to reach that light. For this purpose, we will use a form of exercise which has been suggested before, and which we will utilize increasingly. It is a particularly difficult form for the undisciplined mind, and represents a major goal of mind training. It requires precisely what the untrained mind lacks, yet this training must be accomplished if you are to see. Have at least 3 practice periods today, each lasting 3 to 5 minutes. A longer time is highly recommended, but only if you find the time slipping by with little or no sense of strain. The form of practice we will use today is the most natural and easy one in the world for the trained mind, just as it seems to be the most unnatural and difficult for the untrained mind. Your mind is no longer wholly trained. You are quite ready to learn the form of exercise we will use today, but you may find that you will encounter strong resistance. The reason is very simple. While you practice in this way, you leave behind everything that you now believe, all the thoughts that you have made up. Properly speaking, this is the release from hell. Yet perceived through the ego's eyes, it is loss of identity and a descent into hell. Interesting dichotomy there. If you can stand aside from the ego by ever so little, you will have no difficulty in recognizing that its opposition to its fears are meaningless. You might find it helpful to remind yourself from time to time that to reach the light is to escape from darkness, whatever you may believe to the contrary. God is in the light in which you see. You are attempting to reach Him. Begin the practice period by repeating today's idea with your eyes open. And then close them slowly, repeating the idea several times more. Try to sink into your mind, letting go of every kind of interference and intrusion by quietly sinking past them. Your mind cannot be stopped in this unless you choose to stop it. It is merely taking its natural course. Try to observe your passing thoughts without involvement and slip quietly by them. That's a beautiful kind of a guided meditation instruction too, by the way. So I would clip out that little paragraph and use it frequently when you're trying to get into deep meditation or deep concentration. It's really great instructions. Okay. While no particular approach is advocated for this form of exercise, what is needful is a sense of the importance of what you are doing. It's inestimable value to you and an awareness that you are attempting something very holy. Salvation is your happiest accomplishment. It is also the only one that has any meaning, because it is the only one that has any real use to you at all. If resistance rises in any form, pause long enough to repeat today's idea, keeping your eyes closed unless you are aware of fear. In that case, you will probably find it more reassuring to open your eyes briefly. Try, however, to return to the exercises with eyes closed as soon as possible. If you are doing the exercises correctly, you should experience some sense of relaxation and even a feeling that you are approaching, if not actually entering into the light. Try to think of light, formless and without limit, as you pass by the thoughts of this world, and do not forget that they cannot hold you to the world unless you give them the power to do so. Throughout the day, repeat the idea often, with eyes open or closed as it seems better to you at the time. But do not forget. Above all, be determined not to forget today. Beautiful. And as I stare into the beautiful sun over these mountains right now, it's easy for me to see God is the light in which I see. Okay, so let's take a look and see what a year of forgiveness has to say about lesson number 44. God is the light in which I see. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. Okay, I just read that. This begins your deeper connection to the faith you develop when you become one with the divine. You are asked not to manipulate or change your thoughts, but to go beneath your thoughts to that ever-present deep awareness. You always have this deep awareness of consciousness with you. You get distracted by the little bells and whistles and shiny things of your world, the thoughts that gallop across your mind. You chase them and look after them. We want you to go beneath that. We want you to go deep inside your consciousness where the truth of your being lies. It exists whether you are young or old, whether you are happy or sad, and whether you are healthy or sick. The consciousness lies like an ocean beneath the waves on the surface that is profoundly present and always calm, very much as the oceans on the earth. There are waves and storms. These would be the thoughts and ideas of the ego mind, and seemingly dangerous and treacherous currents up there that drag you under. Beneath that, deep beneath that, lies a quiet and profoundly stable space that is the true nature of your consciousness. It is not the turbulent, fractious, frightening, and frightened aspects of you with which you identify. It is that endless, peaceful, deep connection you have with all that is. We do not want you to be afraid of this experience. We want you to understand it is the you always present from lifetime to lifetime, whether you have a body or not. It is not associated with the physical body. It is consciousness, pure and untrammeled by the ego mind. So be kind to yourself today. If you cannot master what this lesson asks of you, it is okay. Try again later in the day. Try again before you go to bed. Forgive yourself if your mind seems to run away on you, but do your best to go beneath the thoughts. Do your best to connect with the stillness within. As you do this exercise, you begin to master these abilities. You begin to have experiences of expansion, being immersed in endless space, or connected to something other than the world. This is a wonderful experience indeed. This is the first lesson in seeking that experience. You may or may not bring it, This first lesson in seeking that experience may or may not bring it to you. Don't panic if it doesn't. It doesn't mean that you won't have it. But do your best to employ the lesson today as it is described. Read it carefully, make notes if you need to, and practice. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. So another thing that came to mind today as I was thinking about this lesson, God is the light in which I see, is sometimes to help remember is to sing it. And there is a woman named Neda Bowen. She's from Holland, and she sings the lessons of A Course in Miracles. And I'll link an example of her work below. That may help you if you sing it. But her voice is so beautiful. It's this lesson I remember. It's kind of like, God is the light, God is the light, God is the light in which I see. Something like that. But it's catchy, when you hear it sung. So, forgive me for not having perfect pitch and everything there. But yeah, it's it's a little trick, but with this one, it's pretty easy. You just kind of repeat it, close your eyes and go within and get your meditation on. So have a great day today, everybody. I love you from Sedona, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.